Hey guys, Ray here, and want to do a new part, a new kind of series in addition to a lot of the other stuff that we've been working on, especially in Studio One and building our videos and different metal songs that we've been working on. But I want to do this section called Tech Corner. But the idea here is to be able to work on different types of guitars, amps, pedals, all sorts of stuff. I've got a buddy of mine who is a luthier, and he is kind enough, he's one of the greats here in the area, and over the years he's been really kind to me and helped me kind of learn how to develop and take care of these. So I thought I would share some of that information with you, since I'm always working on this stuff. And in addition, also amplifiers. So we'll be working on all sorts of amps, pedals, and guitars and all sorts of stuff. So today we're going to fix this not busted, but we're going to work on this little pot here that's been scratchy. Today what we're going to talk about is my favorite type of lubricant for guitars, and there are different types of lubricants out there, and not to be confused with electronic cleaners. Very different. A electronic cleaner is made for cleaning different types of parts, takes the crud out of certain things. Using something that is more of a lubricant, like what we're going to talk about today, Deoxit. This isn't a commercial, I'm not sponsored by these guys, I just really think this stuff is amazing. This stuff's called Deoxit Gold. This is the G100. You can see by the size of the bottle, not the biggest bottle in the whole world. I think this was like 25 or 30 bucks. Now there are cheaper lubricants out there. This stuff is amazing. I mean, I have used all sorts of different types of lubes before. This stuff here is just incredible. Not to be confused with this stuff. CRC, good stuff. Don't use this on things like pots. And you know, this is more for amps. This is for cleaning off things that are crusty, corroded, dirty, nasty stuff inside of amps. Don't use this on stuff that twists like your pots. You know, it's not made for that. You want to use something like this right here, which is again made for lubricant. So what we're going to do, I've got some pots on this Les Paul Traditional, 2013 Les Paul Traditional. Love this guitar, great guitar, and all of a sudden lately when I'm adjusting my volume, I start getting that sound. Happens to all guitars. Every guitar, doesn't matter, everything I've had, every guitar I've ever owned, at some point that happens. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit in here, and we're going to make it stop. Okay, here we are on the back of the guitar here, and you can see these 4 different screws here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these 4 different screws off, which is going to lead us right to the wires within the pot or potentiometer, where we can start applying our G100. Going through now, taking these screws off, you want to be really careful that you don't slip and scratch your guitar. I use this simple little tool that it comes with. Some people are, you know, use their power drills and stuff. I'm paranoid that I'm going to scratch things. I literally use the little tool because it's fat and I get my fingers on it, and I feel with a big screwdriver, I just don't want to make that mistake. So do whatever works for you. I like to make sure that I'm like right up on top of it so that I don't mess anything up. So we're just going to take these 4 screws off here real quick. Once you get the screws off of the back plate there's a lot of different ways that you can take the plate off, but you want to be careful in what you use. I wouldn't recommend anything too sharp. I literally keep a little plastic type of gift card type thing, anything that's small, thin, and plastic that won't scratch. And what I'll do is I'll put it underneath the leading edge right there, the little lip there, and I'll just gently kind of pop it up, and it'll pry up like this, and just kind of gently pull up, and you'll be able to see what's going on inside the thing here. But just being careful when you lift it up so you don't scratch anything. Right up in close here, you can see the 4 different pots here, 2 being for, of course, volume, 2 for the tone. And the issue I'm having is in that top left one there. That's the issue, that the pot that's giving us trouble. And you can see the wires in here as I get up even closer in here. You can see they're connected, soldered to the pot itself. These are the original Gibson pots. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray that Deoxit inside that little hole there. I'm trying to spray a good dose of that, not too much, but enough. It evaporates fairly quickly, but it's such a great lube. Now, when I say evaporates, I mean the part of it that that you want sticking to your components is going to stick inside that. Stick to the parts and help keep it lubed for a while. But I'm going to, that little notch right in there, I'm going to try to spray it up in there and really give it a good lube and twist the pot around a little bit to help keep it from making that crackling sound going forward. So I'm going to spray some of that in there now. The benefit of having, it comes with this little nozzle on it here, the little hose here. What's great about that is that you don't have to kind of just do that big burst spray. So giving that little nozzle lets me pinpoint right where I want to put it. So again, as I was showing before, I want to go right down in there and give it a little, there we go. And since I'm here, I'm going to hit the other ones up too. Now a little bit of this stuff, remember this stuff isn't cheap, so I'm not going crazy with it. There we go. And so I give it a good little burst, and I'll probably give it another burst here in a minute, but I'm going to work that in, work that pot and twist those knobs in and really work the solution, the lube, the Deoxit G100 here, in, and it'll prevent it from scratching, and it'll also down the road help it from collecting more dust, and you know, of course there's nothing you can really do about it, but it sticks to it and helps keep it from getting all kind of stuff. So good stuff. Okay, what I'm doing now is, like I was saying before, just kind of really work it in, twist it all the way on, all the way to one side, all the way to the next, and really just kind of work that Deoxit in, lube or whatever lube you're using. But this is really going to help prevent that from that scratchy stuff. There we go. I want to make sure when you're putting your screws back in, don't twist them too tight. These little screws here, this little plate here wasn't meant to be tightened too much, so you just want to twist it just enough to where it's snug. If you keep turning too far, you may strip the screw itself, and then you got to get a bit bigger screw and all that stuff. So just a little bit of twisting on it. All right, here we are. We have fixed our Gibson traditional here, and we've got the pots all worked in, and I plugged them in and gave them a once over, and of course, thanks to our lovely little Deoxit here, this stuff was awesome. Totally clean, didn't make any kind of sound at all, and pretty much the stuff, I've never come across anything as good as that. So again, not pushing or you know, paid by these people to use it. I just think it's great stuff. So if you have scratchy pots like this, if your knobs, potentiometers are scratching on your guitars, your amps, get yourself some of that stuff. And remember, this stuff is for cleaning. This is the cleaning amps, and this stuff is for lubing, making stuff work so it doesn't squeak, scratch, or make bad noise. So again, I'm Ray. Thanks for joining us today, and we will have more stuff coming up real soon. So thanks.